Three, two, one. Hey y'all, this is Great House, the creator of Bang the Ballad of the Tiger. And today we're going to start off a little bit different. I'm going to start off with a quote from Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash, but it will make sense in a moment. Until a man is 25, he still thinks ever so often that under the right circumstances, he could be the baddest motherfucker in the world. If I move to a martial art monastery in China and study real hard for 10 years, and my family is wiped out by Colombian drug dealers, and I swore to avenge. If I got a fatal disease and had 1 year to live, devoted it to wiping out street crime. If I just dropped out and devoted my life to being bad. Hero used to feel that way too, but then he ran into Raven. In a way, this was liberating. He no longer has to worry about being the baddest motherfucker in the world. That position is taken. Now, what does this long intro have to do? Well, I'm about to introduce you to one of the baddest motherfuckers in not only comics, but art. And I'm talking not just 21st century, not just 20th century. I'm talking about throughout history. And that is the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Stelfreeze. I'm not going to lie. I was lucky enough to be taught by that man. Now, why did I have to build him up? Because we're about to talk about some of the madness that is Stelfreeze. So, how does one convey rain? That's a question I'm presenting you today. How does Stelfreeze choose to convey rain? Well, how about you ink everything but the rain? Most artists, including myself, would ink something black and then taking the white lines and separating it. Not Brian. He did the opposite. From this Jonah Hex run, he inked all the lines in between. So, leaving the rain coming down. Now, it's one of these things, I know, this is complete madness. This is only something a genius slash a madman would do. But it does create an interesting effect. And especially, I think what really sells this, it's easy to kind of look at the big shapes. But it's the lines in between the characters in the background. That's what really conveys this. And like I said, this is something only a madman would do. But I also said he's one of the baddest motherfuckers in the world. So here we are. This is a run. Yeah, this is a run I highly recommend. You can find it on Comixology. It's hard to find in person. But this is just some sweet storytelling. And I think the other thing is, and I don't believe he did the colors, but whoever did the colors on this really did a great job with the limited palette, with the warm and cools. And like I said, in some ways, especially in some of these background shots, it's a pretty manageable beast to conquer. But some of these group shots, I cannot imagine him sitting there just inking these lines, everything but the rain. So, here's the question. How do you do rain? Do you ink the actual rain or do you ink everything around it? And this is going very deep. That could be a very deep art question. But anyway, once again, Brian Stelfreeze, I highly recommend. He is one of the GOATs. And watercolor and all this, I can praise him all day. But yeah, how do you ink rain? So anyway, this has been Josh, and have a good one.